Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because I got a ton of good news for you in this, and we are going to be talking about why this win, why this season was even better than we thought, and even dealing with all the defensive injuries. Tell me, stop me if you've heard that before, right? Even dealing with all that, this is still the single best season, and it's not even close as far as the regular season is concerned that the Detroit Lions have ever had. So let me ask you this. I'm about to go through all these different stats that the Detroit Lions PR team came up with, the leaders, what the best in franchise history, some of the best in NFL history. This is one of the single best NFL teams to ever play a regular season, period. And I understand we're banged up, but we're going to enjoy the now. So let me ask you this question. What is the most impressive part of this team this year for you? What is the single most impressive part of this team? And for me, I'm going to go out here and say it. I'm just going to say the absolute dominance of Jahmyr Gibbs has been remarkable alongside the efficiency of Jared Goff and just how this offense has completely clicked. And this defense has completely clicked in year 4 with these respective coaches. All right. And I know Ben Johnson's in year 3 as the OC, but it's his 4th year with the team. He was the passing game coordinator for the back half of the first year, all that good stuff. So what is the most impressive thing for you? I'm sure I could get it even better. Let's look and let's just read through this because I said this before, when we were doing the live show, and I was like, just enjoy this, please. All right. Enjoy what the Lions are doing. So let's just take a moment and enjoy what we're seeing here. The Detroit Lions, the only teams in NFL history to produce a season with at least 550 points scored and a plus 220 point differential, are the 2024 Lions, the 2012 Patriots, the 07 Patriots, and the 98 Vikings. Good company to be in. The Detroit Lions have led the NFL in points per game with 33.2. The only other time Detroit had previously led the league in that was 1954. Let's just enjoy this. The only Lions players to lead the entire NFL in touchdowns scored in the seasons are Jahmyr Gibbs, Barry Sanders, and Billy Sims. All right? Barry Sanders did it twice in 90 and 91. Billy Sims did in 80, and now Jahmyr Gibbs in 2024. Just imagine what he would have done if he was running the whole year the way he is now. All right, Jared Goff, this is just fun stuff. Tied for first in wins, 2nd in completion percentage, 2nd in passer rating, 2nd in passing yards, 2nd in yards per attempt, and 4th in touchdowns. Yet, we're not even going to consider him for the MVP, right? Come on. Sorry, that's just my own little thing on the side. And I think you need to know this is going to be shockingly a long list that you're seeing. 410 first downs, the 5th most in NFL history. 5th best offense in history at getting first down. All right? 5th in NFL history. The only player to put together a season where you have 72% of your passes completed and throw for more than 4,500 passing yards is Jared Goff. He's the only one. Nobody else has done it. And that is the efficiency that I'm talking about in which he is doing it. Jared Goff produced his 9th game of the season with a completion percentage of 75%, passing Tom Brady for the most in a season in NFL history. And by the way, if he didn't have that 17th game, he would have tied it. So he still would have been at the top of the record books for that one. Talk about obscure records, but still he would have it. And by the way, I'm going to act like the 17-game season. I'm no longer doing the asterisk thing. I'm just going to go with it. All right, the only players in NFL history to produce a season with at least 1,900 scrimmage yards, 16 rushing touchdowns, and 4 receiving touchdowns are Jahmyr Gibbs, David Johnson, Marshall Faulk, and O.J. Simpson. David Johnson had that one just ridiculous year, I think, for the Cardinals. That was just nuts. That's the outlier in that one. Jahmyr Gibbs has produced 150 yards and a touchdowns in 3 straight games. The only other player to do that, Barry Sanders. Lions led the NFL with a point differential of plus 222. This is their first time doing that since 1952. They have scored the Detroit Lions with their 564 points. It is the fourth most in NFL history. There are only 3 teams in NFL history who have scored more points than the 2024 Detroit Lions. Can you believe that? Did you realize when you were watching this team that this was the 4th highest scoring team to ever play football? The Lions produced 70 touchdowns this season, tying the 2011 Packers and the 84 Dolphins for the 4th most in NFL history. That makes sense. All right. New single-season franchise rushing record for 29 touchdowns this year. All right. Fox has set an NFL single-season record in net punting average. Gotta love punters. Punters are people too. All right. It just keeps going. 11-2 in prime time. All right. They are the 9th team in NFL history to win 15 games. I understand that we got 17 to do it. All right. The Lions have swept their division for the first time in a season. First time ever that we have gone 6-0 in the division. And by the way, this is the best division in football. No other division has a better record against teams outside of their division than the NFC North. The next closest, I believe, is the NFC East or NFC West. And guess what? They don't have any Chicago Bears. So there we go. Sweep the North. Won their division in consecutive seasons for the first time ever. I just want to give you the idea. They are the number 1 seed for the first time ever. Ever. So this is the reason we are talking about this, because this is the best year and 2-year stretch Detroit Lions fans have ever seen. So yeah, it's even better than we thought, because no matter how long you've been a Lions fan, you've never seen anything like this. This is the top. This is what it feels like. The only thing that can feel better than what we felt last year and this year is getting to and winning a Super Bowl. That's it. Now for more good news on the injury front. All right, more good news. Terrion Arnold has negative x-rays. Nothing is broken. They really thought it was. And Terrion Arnold has come out very adamantly and said, I am playing in their next playoff game. The bye week is massively important. Do I think he'll play? Don't I? Only time will tell. But he is saying he's a warrior and he wants to play. And they have proven that Terrion Arnold with Amik Robertson on the outside, small sample side, works well. It works well. Give Terrion the number 2 receiver. Give Amik Robertson the number 1. It can work. It can. So when you see a guy carted off the field, when you see a guy go immediately to his leg like that, you immediately think, boom, Achilles. You think, boom, dislocated or broken ankle. You think something had to break. Something had to tear. It looks like that didn't happen. So another huge, huge thing is the fact that we have now got a bye week. We have a defense that's playing with utmost confidence, and they have even more time to get healthy, and they have more time to learn one another and continue to play well under what Aaron Glenn is doing. All right, this is phenomenal. And by the way, just fun things. When the ownership of the Minnesota Vikings spends $2 million to get less than 2,000 Minnesota Vikings fans in the stadium, and they just waste the money because the Lions win, it makes me so happy. But anywhere you look, whether it's points, whether it's efficiency ratings, whether it's PFF. I mean, like, look at this on PFF. The Lions are rated as the number 1 overall team based on grades, the number 2 offense, the number 5 defense, and the 6th rated special teams. Whether you look at points, whether you look at points allowed, whether you look at record, whether you look at made up rankings, it doesn't matter. The Detroit Lions are the best team in the NFL. That's what everything shows. And when you are a 14-2 team and you play another 14-2 team and it's a close game, but then you spank them in the second half and you run away with the thing, you prove and you cement yourself as the best team in the NFL because they did it when it mattered. And here's the thing that I love. You get the bye week. Yes, we know that. But also, not only do you just get that bye week, you also get a first-round playoff game. I know we're not playing a first-round playoff game, but that game against the Vikings was a playoff game. So your team understands the playoff atmosphere. They understand what it looks like. And I think so often we ask ourselves, is the bye week a good thing? Is it actually an advantage? Another team comes in, they had just played at full speed with the playoffs. Well, we just played at full speed like a playoff game. That's what it was. That's absolutely what it was. And by the way, this Minnesota team is good. That's why Dan Campbell, this is hilarious, when he shook hands with O'Connell, the head coach of the Vikings, after the game, he said, great game, see you in 2 weeks. Because he is assuming the Minnesota Vikings are going to beat the Rams, and that could likely, if the Redskins, if the Commanders lose to the Bucks, and the Packers lose to the Eagles, we will have a rematch against the Vikings. And it'll be another knockdown slugfest, and I can't wait. All right? Whoever it is, bring them in. We got 2 weeks to prepare our defense. And this is the other thing that's great. I mean, there's so much good news. The offers, like the interview requests, are flying in for Ben Johnson, for Aaron Glenn. You know, I know the Jets have asked for Aaron Glenn. I think the Bears, the Patriots, and now pretty soon the Jags, I believe, are rumored to have already asked to interview Ben Johnson. This is one of those things where when you have 2 weeks, your coaches actually have time to continue to do their job and do a quick interview or 2 or 3. Like, you can do that. And it's not as rough because, like, last year, that's always a conversation. Like, all right, they're doing these interviews. They're doing and by the way, knock it off, NFL. Just wait till the Super Bowl's done. Don't you want a bunch of news going in the month of February? In March, you have free agency. In April, you have the draft, and that carries into May. And then in June, you have OTAs. And then in August, like, you have almost every month covered. Don't you just want that back end of February to be full of news with coaches and stuff like that moving and grooving? Like, come on. Like, it's unfair. It's kind of like college football, like the transfer portal. Just wait till the playoffs are done. Anyways, there you go. So with all that being said, wait till the playoffs are done. But at least now with the bye, it gives our coaches time to do their interviews and figure out what's going to happen and go from there. All right. Thank you for watching. Go Lions. We run the North. See ya.